So on Instagram, I asked on my story if you wanted to hear a story time about when my ex-husband did not take me to the hospital when I was in labor. He refused to take me, or I'm blanking. I'm like, I don't know. I'm scared. The time where my ex-husband, now ex-husband, but was my husband at the time, told me and tried to convince me that his girlfriend is a man. This is true. This is I'm not lying. And everybody wanted to hear about both. But I'm going to start off with the pregnancy one. That one has stuck with me for a very long time. That was my previous pregnancy. I'm pregnant right now, but it was my previous pregnancy when I was pregnant 5 years ago when we were married, and I was pregnant with twins. I wish I maybe like documented that day, because I don't know what led up to it. Not like we were fighting and he was like too mad to take me. I just wish I knew like what went on that day. So I was around 30 weeks pregnant. All right, maybe I was 30 weeks because that's when I gave birth. I was 30 weeks. But one of the twins had passed away in around like I think 24, 25 weeks. So there was a unalive fetus in my womb. That was baby A, so that baby was already like sitting on my cervix, I guess. I don't know if that had anything to do with why I went into labor so early, but maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I was having contractions all day that day. I don't remember. All I remember is it was nighttime. We were going to bed. All the kids were asleep at this point. I don't know if I woke up from contractions or if I just didn't end up falling asleep at all. But I remember sitting up in bed and having contractions, having pretty bad contractions. At this time I had 4 other kids and they were all asleep. And we weren't like expecting to go into labor. I think I ended up waking my husband up. I think it was like around 2 a.m. It was late, late. And he had been sleeping already. And I was telling him about my contractions and I was in a lot of pain and I wasn't sure, I wasn't sure if I was in labor or not. But it came to a point where I wanted to go to the hospital because everything just kept getting worse and worse. So eventually I told him that I wanted to go to the hospital because I guess I thought I was in labor. All I know is I was in a lot of pain, having contractions like back to back, and I was timing them and everything. And if you've been pregnant before and stuff, once they're, I don't know, like 3 minutes apart, I think you're supposed to go in, something like that. And they were, and he was like questioning me, like kind of like, really, are you sure? I wanted to go and he was just unsure about it. And then after that, I don't know if he went back to sleep or what, but at one point we end up calling my doctor to see, you know, like, okay, well, if my doctor says that I should go in, then we'll go. You know, that's basically what he had told me. Like, if my doctor suggests it, then okay. When we talked to my doctor, they said to come in. But still, he did not want to go. I don't know what he was saying, but he wanted his sleep, I guess. He didn't get much sleep. He wanted to sleep. That's what it was. All the kids were sleeping and we didn't have like anyone to watch them, I think, or he didn't want to bother trying to get somebody to watch them at that point or something. I don't know, but he didn't want to take me. I don't really remember what he was telling me, but all I know is that I was in tears at that point. Like, I just wanted to go to the fucking hospital because I was in pain. I was in physical pain, and on top of carrying a baby that wasn't alive anymore. I just wanted to go. I wanted to go. I felt like I had to go, but he just kept making excuses, I guess. I just like let it be. I let him go back to sleep because that's what he wanted. And I think it was like around 2, something like that. And while he was sleeping, I was just sitting up, dealing with contraction after contraction, crying and crying because, you know, I just really couldn't believe that I was dealing with that at that point. And I sat there for hours until the sun came up, crying in pain, just waiting for him to be okay to take me to the hospital. And I think it was, so the sun came up and it was, I don't know, maybe 6:30 or something like that. And he finally took me and I was taken in. A doctor checked me and he said that I was at 9 centimeters already. And I was like shocked. I was really, really shocked and really, I just couldn't believe it that I like labored in my bed by myself crying because my husband wouldn't take me to the hospital. So they immediately like gave me medicine, something, I don't remember what it was called, to stop my contractions, to try to keep baby B in for as long as possible. But I think I ended up having her like the next day. That whole situation at home, that like really fucked with me for a long time. Like still, I never forgave him for that. Everything that has ever happened, like I lose like a bit of respect, and that whole thing just traumatized me. I think I never stopped thinking about it since it happened. It was just like one of those situations that I just like couldn't wrap my head around. I just couldn't really believe that he didn't care. Now I can, but like at the time I just couldn't believe it, especially like everything that I was going through physically with the baby and the other baby that wasn't alive, and I don't know. So that's when he didn't take me to the hospital when I was in labor, because he was tired. I don't know if he was mad at me, but that's why I'm like, I wish I knew what happened that day, because I don't know. I don't know if he was mad and didn't want to take me because he was mad, or if it's just because he wanted to sleep. I didn't sleep, but he slept. like a baby. It's just so hard for me to talk about that. I don't really know why. I feel like it shouldn't be. I mean, it was 5 years ago, but it really did bother me. My stomach hurts really bad. So that's that. And last night, so I was, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen my story. Some of you have seen my story about the girlfriend. And I was on FaceTime with my daughter and she was like cussing at me and stuff. The girlfriend was cussing at me. My daughter was crying. I've posted pictures of my daughter when she was here on spring break. Her hair has been growing. It was long and beautiful. And my ex-husband knows that I don't want them to mess with her hair. He knows that. Just like he knows a lot of other things but doesn't give a fuck. Just last night, my daughter calls me and her hair is up to here and she has bangs. And she said that the girlfriend wanted her to call me. And I'm pretty sure it was deliberately just to throw that in my face, like, look at what I can do. I think they're big piles of things I won't say, but... And I just feel really terrible for my kids that are there that have to deal with a petty parent that, in my experience and observation, doesn't give a fuck about anybody. I really don't think that he does. And I have many reasons to believe it to be true. And I'll also be sharing all that